Right. All right. Thank you very much, Cynthia. Hi. Once again, my name is Justin. Thank you for being here. I'm so humbled that you are here. I mean, you are here joining us on the weekend, on the Friday night, and I'm so grateful that you are here and joining here as well. So give yourself a round of applause because you made it here on a Friday night. That's a big thing. So without without any delay, let me give you an introduction why we are doing this weekend breakthrough. All right. Uh, in in the beginning of this year, since the first quarter of this year, we means I and Cynthia have noticed that we have a lot of people approaching us on a number of issues, and all are in a similar pattern. They were stuck. They do not know where to go, what to do. And some were trying to redefine their career, to change their career path. And some can get past their procrastination. Okay, they just can get themselves to do things what they want to do. And we thought, why not? We had a bunch of people coming us for the same issue. Why not we just go out there and just do this weekend breakthrough so everybody who needs this transformation can transform. So our whole purpose here is to help people transform their lives. That's all. To help people transform their lives so they can live their dreams and possibilities. That's our mission. That's our vision. That's what we as Debugging Minds strive to do, and really in our core on helping people to do that. And yes, Cynthia also shared about this, and I'm so very humbled that the Coach Foundation has recognized my contributions to the community, and they have awarded me for the top coach for 2020. So I'm very humbled to receive this award and acknowledgement as well. So just to share about that as well. Before we dive into this weekend breakthrough, we have about 5 webinars prepared or 5 sessions prepared. But what we are facing right now, why do we need a breakthrough? That's my whole question. Why do we need a breakthrough? Go into the chat box. There's only 2 people here, so just blast out in the chat box. Why do you think we need a breakthrough? Or do you need a breakthrough, or anybody else need a breakthrough? Yes, I'll be waiting for your answers here. Sairam and Liz. Why do you think we need a breakthrough?
Yeah, hi Justin. Good evening.
Hi,
Hi
good
Cynthia.
evening.
How are you guys doing?
Good, very good. Thank you.
Okay. For myself, regarding I was working as a marine engineer, and I didn't really I love that job actually. But when it comes to the breakthrough, I wanted to try new things in my like as far as I know that the only thing I know is one career only.
Yeah.
But other things, I wanted to learn other skills as well.
Yes.
And when it comes to that, I needed the breakthrough.
Yeah.
The breakthrough of trying new skills. Okay, why not I learn new things? But the part that I do get stuck is how to monetize it and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to figure things out.
Yes.
as well.
Mm.
But meanwhile, I'm still into my career. I'm studying. I'm doing my further studies in the marine engineering as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, just in that transformation process. So
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. So the breakthrough is about learning what else do you know other than your career.
All right.
So when that to answer that question, I'm running towards it.
All right, awesome. And I hope this weekend will be your breakthrough as well. And
Yeah,
thank you, Sairam, for sharing. It's extremely awesome what you're doing right now on trying out new skills. And I really encourage you to go out and grow as much as you can, all the skills that is needed. So, in a short summary, all right, there is a lot of uncertainty and transition currently within this year, within this pandemic itself. There is a lot of uncertainty and a lot of transitions of changing job, transition of from working from home to going back to office, from office to going back to home, from offline business moving online. There's a lot of transition going on, and every transition requires transformation from within, not just outside. Transformation from within on how you develop the skills needed, the mindset needed, the knowledge, the information that is needed within oneself to transform, to become relevant for the future as well. So that is why we need a breakthrough. We need a breakthrough because sometimes what is the knowledge that we learn may be the only may be preventing us to move forward, because we have learned that this thing is too dangerous, or this thing is something unknown. There might be a risk of failure here. That sometimes prevents us from moving forward. The self-doubt, that is the transition sometimes we need to break the breakthrough. So in this weekend breakthrough, we're having these 5 sessions on how to beat procrastination and be a high performer, how to overcome fear of failure and be extraordinary, how to have this unlimited power of self-confidence, and how to get unstuck and redefine or reinvent yourself, and how to craft your own career path as well. So these are the 5 sessions we are going on. And just a side note on how to maximize the breakthrough. Now, if you have any insights or any that's something that triggers you, it might be something that Cynthia said or I said, or one of the participants here itself jumped out and said, and you have an aha moment, or you have a eureka moment, that can be your breakthrough. And whenever you have a breakthrough, just send us a heart or an emoji or a thumbs up, that we know that there is a breakthrough happening for you. All right, that's number 1. Number 2 is play full out. Don't be reserved, because this is for a breakthrough to happen, or for any change to happen. We need to participate inside of it. We need to be fully engaged inside of it. So don't reserve yourself. Just go out. Whatever you feel, whatever you want to comment, just go ahead and share it with us. Second, take notes, take action, and teach someone. And teach it to someone. Why? Because when you teach it to someone, you get to learn it twice. When you learn it twice, it sticks in you. It sticks in you, and you can also remember it. Once you remember it, you can always recall to change it, to use it, not to change it. So education is about learning, and learning is about remembering. Yeah. And the remembering part is very important, and to remember, we can always teach someone to remember more. And the second thing is avoid distraction. Block yourself from your calendar. Just spend about a maximum of about 1 hour per sessions. We are going to limit it, so we're trying to stick to our time as well. And please on your videos if you feel free, and if there's no one running around with their towels behind. So please feel free to on the videos. Okay. And all right, so let's jump in right now to how to beat out procrastination. All right, let me just give me a second. There's something going on. So hold on, Cynthia. There's something popped up on my side. I hope everything is okay. Yes, we are in. So what is procrastination? I mean, what is procrastination? We talk about procrastination. So what is procrastination? Come on, just share with me, what do you understand about procrastination? Go to the comments and just share with us. What do you understand about procrastination?
Delay doing something.
Yeah, perfect. That's one of the best best way we can explain procrastination. Anybody else would like to share?
When we have a work to do, then we find all the reasons against the work.
Yeah,
we delay the job. Sometimes we don't even do it.
Yes, that's good. So now the question is, we know that we need to do it. Why do we do it? Why do so many people procrastinate? Why so many people still know what they want to do it and they delay doing it? Why is there this virus of procrastination rapidly spreading in our society? The answer is that there are many reasons why, but if you allow me just to put it into a context of two main reasons, is because in Malaysian, they call it the okay lah syndrome, or in a fancy word, we call it as languishing. Now, what I mean by languishing is that it's a feeling where you are not depressed, you're not to say that you're not burned out. You still have energy, but you're aimless, you're a little bit joyless, you're empty, and you're stagnated. This is where I define it as the emotional state. We have come into an emotional state that this is a stagnation. We know that we need to do, but we don't have the energy, the desire, the drive needed to go and do what we need to do. We get into this emotional state, the state of pattern. We'll be covering more into it, but this is where we go into this emotional state where we don't have the energy to do it. All right. Just say yes or no if you agree with this. I would really like to know your point of view. The second part on why people procrastinate is their mental talk. We have this voice inside of our head. If you're saying that I don't have the voice inside of it, in your head, that is the voice right now that's saying that. So we have this voice inside our head, and this voice inside our head is not to say we are mad, but this is how we think. That's how thinking process happens. But this mental chatter that always sneak into us and telling to do things later. There was a saying, if your brain is a supercomputer, your mental talk is the software. Is the software on how things work. Your mental talk or your mental chatter is one of the biggest factors that determines your level of success or failure in life. And the more that we can not tame it, but the more that we can train it to work for us rather than against us, the more we can have the joy and the joy in life. So this is this mental chatter that causes procrastination. So now, what is the opposite of procrastination? Does anybody would like to share on this? What is the opposite of procrastination?
I think being productive and take immediate action. You know what you want to do, and you have the right motivation, right mindset, and everything.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. You just said everything in one go. That's exactly it. The people who procrastinate also knows that, I'm not saying that you procrastinate, but people who procrastinate also knows that the total opposite of it is productivity, producing something. There is an output towards it. And procrastination is just delay producing it. Okay, so these are the two main reasons. So before we dive into on how to decode this whole procrastination, let's start off with some self-awareness question. So take out your pens and papers and just write down the answers. You don't have to write down the question, but write down the answers on when do you procrastinate the most. If you procrastinate, when do you procrastinate the most? You don't have to share it first, just write it down. When? the time of the day. Is it in the evening, late at night? When the time, and after what activity we procrastinate the most. This is just to increase our self-awareness on this. All right. The second question is, what activity do I choose to procrastinate with? Say, let's say you got to write down a resume or an assignment or a blog post. What do you choose to procrastinate with? Do you go into Facebook? Do you go to YouTube? Or do you go to Netflix? I don't know, but just some example. What do you choose to procrastinate with? Or do you just call up your friend and start talking, and then it goes up for 2 hours? So what do you choose to procrastinate with? That's question number 2. Question number 3 is, when do I choose to stop procrastinating? This is the most important question, I would say, because we have a choice. And usually people tend to stop procrastinating when the deadline is tomorrow, or when the deadline is 1 hour from now. These are just some self-awareness questions to really understand what are we battling with. If we can see, then we can understand it. If we are unable to see it, we are unable to understand it. Thanks, Iram, for that note. So the fourth question is, what are you seeking when you procrastinate? When you are procrastinating, what are you seeking? This is a higher, deeper level towards it. This requires some honesty, because we need to seek this question with understanding, with truth. If we seek the question with this of pride and ego, trying to avoid the truth, we might not able to break this, to understand this pattern, so we cannot overcome it. We cannot have a breakthrough. But if we seek this question with really understanding the self-love inside of us, on when we procrastinate, what are we procrastinating? I mean, what are we seeking in this procrastination? When I asked this question to one of my clients last time, she honestly told me, I was seeking just to have some self-pleasure, because I work all day and night, and at night I just want to relax, so I just start watching YouTube and having some fun, watching some comedy, and then it just leads to the next thing. Then I cannot do my activities. So she was seeking just alone time just to regenerate. So she was seeking that. What are you seeking when you procrastinate? So before we move on, these 4 questions, make sure you have the answers. So at the end of this, we will come back to this. So is this question hard, easy, or it takes time for you to think about? Please share with me over here.
I think it is easy, because I kinda always reflect about this.
All right. Okay, so that's good. Then you do have the answers for this. Am I right?
Yeah, because the cycle keep going. So I was like, why I'm still like this?
Okay. All right. So today we will cover on this, and why. Once we understand why, you give us power to overcome it as well.
All right.
Okay. So now, the 5th question is, procrastination a habit for me? A very truthful question. Is it a habit? So these 5 questions, make sure you have the answers for it. You don't have to share it. We can, if you want to share it, we can always share it with us. All right. So now, what causes procrastination? Number 1 is our emotions. Our emotions are, our quality of life are determined by the emotions we experience in a day. You can have all the money, you can have all the success, you can have all the joy, or you can achieve all the goal, is triggering you to procrastinate? Now, what are the emotions that triggers you to procrastinate? And what is the emotion that you use to block your progress? What emotion do you use to block your progress? Okay, when this question, when I ask another client of mine, what emotion triggers procrastination, she didn't have to think. Automatically, she said, I know, which is a boredom and tiredness. Automatically, whenever I feel bored and tired, I cannot do anything. I tend to procrastinate. Whenever I feel bored, tired, fatigue, that's when I start to procrastinate the most. Then we understand that these are the emotional states, the emotional state that causes procrastination. Procrastination is a decision. There is no such thing that I don't decide to. We unconsciously decide to procrastinate because all of these emotional reasons behind it. So we will talk more towards this emotional reason in this framework of energy tanks. Inside each one of us, just imagine there are like 4 types of room. In our human body, there are 4 types of room inside of us. There is a mental room, and this mental room or this mental energy tank is where you have the ability to focus, concentrate, think clearly. You can imagine, you can have a very good imagination when this mental tank is full. This mental tank is full, you are able to think creatively. You can think critical thinking. You can find a solution. But when this mental tank depletes, you're unable to think. You cannot even plus like 3 plus 1. You start to wait. Let me think. Because your mental tank is depleted. People get into that kind of state of being, that they are unable to think clearly when their mental tank is empty. The second part is this energy tank is we have emotional tank also. And when this emotional tank is drained or when it's full, you are able to have the energy, the emotion to go and just do it. You don't have this fear. This emotional is empowering emotions. You feel happiness. You have this excitement, enthusiasm, this energetic energy inside of you to go through any problem. At some days you wake up so excited, you have a good sleep, you get up so excited, you are able to go through challenges. But at some days when you have a bad sleep or you have a bad day, you just cannot go. You cannot even, it's like someone just horn at you once and you just blow up in a car. So this is your energy tank inside of you. We have this mental tank, we have this emotional tank, and we have something called as the physical energy tank as well. In this physical energy tank, it's just your body. You just might feel tired because maybe you don't have enough water or just lethargic. The body is not treated. The body is not treated with respect of giving it the energy, the food that it needs to flourish. And a fourth energy tank is spiritual. And this spiritual energy tank, I like to call it as a spider sense, spidey sense. You watch Spider-Man, he has the sense that something is going to happen. And we do also have this kind of intuition. I call it intuition, where we know sometimes, hey, this person feels right, go with this person. This person feels fishy, let's not take this deal. Or you just have this vibes, okay, this is good, this is bad, or don't take this bus. This is where the spiritual tank, where you are able to tap into intuition. You're able to connect to your mission, your purpose, your vision for the future. These are all these tanks inside of us. Now, my question for you all here is, when do you procrastinate? Which tank do you think was empty? Share with me. Which tank do you think is empty, was empty when you procrastinate? The 5 questions we asked just now. Look back.
Mostly mental and emotional, because I kind of easily distracted. So for me, the fact that it's hard for me to concentrate, the mental tank, it leads to procrastinate.
Yeah, perfect. And when you procrastinate, the activities that you do, what it does to the mental and emotional tank.
Mental or emotional tank.
When you
I don't know.
procrastinate, yeah.
When I procrastinate.
Yes.
Mm,
Does the procrastination helps to replenish the mental and emotional tank?
no, it just distract, and then it just feel empty in the emotional tank. It just you just scrolling your phone like
Yeah.
aimlessly.
And
Yeah.
exactly. So we still used to do it. We choose to do it because both of these tanks are empty. What if these tanks were full? What would you do? How would you behave when these tanks are full? All these tanks are full. You are in 4 cylinders, all are full. How would you behave? What would you do?
I think I can decide properly, decide better,
Yes.
choose what to act. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the idea number one. We sometimes procrastinate because our tanks are empty. We sometimes lash out to people because our emotional tanks are empty. We sometimes are unable to connect to our mission, to our purpose, because one of our tanks are empty. And the best thing that we can do is to decide when is my tank full naturally, when are all my tanks full naturally, and what activities can I do and use up during these tanks are full. And the next question would be is, when my tank is empty, what can I do to replenish them? Let me share you a story. My emotional tanks and mental tanks are depleted to the max when I don't sleep properly the night before. And the one thing that I do is just to have power naps in between, or even just to do a 10 to 15 minutes meditation. And if that didn't work, I'll go off for an exercise. Exercise for just 10 to 15 minutes raises my heartbeat, and I become alert. My mental and emotional tanks are ready already. So that's what I do, my hack. But my clients, some people listen to a really good love song, and that somehow pumps up their emotional tank. So there are countless ways, but the best is what works for you. Decide what, when your emotional tank or mental tank or physical tank or spiritual tank is down, decide on what can I do to increase it. 10-15 minutes, what can you do to increase this this energy tank? Later on we'll be going through this exercise, but just for you to think about it first. All right. The second cause of procrastination is environment. Now, how our environment help us is because imagine an ice cube that you put on a glass. If the water is at room temperature, the ice cube cools down the glass. But if the glass is fully boiled water, and then you put the ice cube inside, the ice cube just disappears in seconds. The thing with environment is we impact our environment, and our environment impacts us. We influence our environment, and our environment also influences us. Is our current environment, how well do we manage our current environment? Is our current environment conducive for me to perform the most important action, to perform my best? I was dealing with a procrastination issue with my client, and he told me that he likes to play guitar. He loves to play guitar, but every time when he comes back home from office, he goes back to his single one-room apartment, and when he gets inside, the first thing he sees is his TV and his remote, and he ons Netflix, and there goes binge watching starts. That's his environment. He created the environment that the first things that he enter after work, which is his TV, Our living room, first thing we see is our TV, not on what we want for ourselves. We don't consciously design our environment sometimes. So what I told him is, why not you design your environment, change your environment to trigger you to practice. Put the guitar right in front of you rather than the TV at the back. I mean, you push the TV at the side. And just changing that environment, he started to playing more guitar. Our environment sometimes may not be conducive for us. You see, we need to sleep in an, I hope you all sleep in a dark environment. We don't sleep with the lights on and fully on music blast. We create a conducive environment for us to sleep. What about the activities? Is the environments that causing us procrastination, is it easy for us to procrastinate because it is right in front of us? How can we change the environment here? You see, Benjamin Harris, Dr. Marshall said that if we do not create and control our environment creates and controls us. How conducive is our current environment right now? How easy is this environment causing you to procrastinate? This is something for you to think, and this is something for you to design your environment. The third part is unconscious association to pain and pleasure. When we understand this, we'll understand how procrastination works. Think about pain and pleasure like a simple emoji over here. It's like we have the angel, the archetype of the angel and the archetype of a devil here. All right. Whenever we procrastinate, we always go for short-term pleasure. And there will be a long-term pain for it because we go for a short-term pleasure. We scroll in Facebook because our brain gets dopamine hits. Whenever we scroll, and that's what Facebook is doing. If you go to there was a special documentary called social media in I'm not so sure where is it, but there was a documentary called Social Media, and social media. And in this documentary, it says that the psychologists have and the hackers or the computer programmers has designed social media to be so addictive that it gives you short-term pleasure. Every time we scroll, every time we click a like, every time we continuously scroll, if you notice, there is so much of variety inside of it. And this is addictive to the brain, not to you, just to your brain itself, because it gets excited, it gets stimulated, and you get hooked onto it. And that's why you cannot just come out from it, even though your brain is telling come out. There's one part of you saying come out, you just cannot come out of it because of that. It's been designed such a way to make you hooked onto it. We go for short-term pleasure. Our brain goes for the dopamine rush. Unconscious association to this pleasure causes to procrastinate. And sometimes we unconsciously put the most important activity for us, like reading a book or maybe writing a report or preparing our business proposal or upgrading our skills. All these activities we unconsciously associate so much pain to start it. It's so much painful for me to just sit down right now because it's easier for me to just scroll Facebook or scroll social media. We do this unconscious association of pain and pleasure. Now, how do you associate this? Does it work with you? How do you associate pain to what is important to you? This is human behavior. There is nothing wrong to be fixed. This is how human behavior works. Human behavior, our human being works by going towards pleasure and avoiding pain. We avoid all the activities that gives us pain, and we go to anything that gives us pleasure. But we also have the consciousness to decide what is pain and pleasure to us. That's the best freedom we can have. Tony Robbins says this, that the secret of success is learning how to use pain and pleasure instead of having pain and pleasure use us. If you do that, you are in control of your life. If not, pain and pleasure is in control of you. Goal setting is a simple form of pain and pleasure. Whenever we set a goal and we achieve it, boom, we get a dopamine rush. We get a feel good. We get a sense of self-worth that, yes, I did it. I'm in control. I have some value. I am worthwhile. Whenever we set a goal and achieve. It doesn't matter how big the goal or how small the goal is. Whenever we set a goal ourselves and we are being consistent to it, our human nature wants to be consistent with the things that we say to ourselves. And whenever we are consistent to it, we will feel good about ourselves. Whenever we say things and say, I'm going to do this, and we don't do it, we degrade our self-worth. So that's why whenever we are consistent with ourselves, we give us pleasure. We give pleasure to ourselves. And that is one of the fastest way to use pain and pleasure. So 4 reasons what causes procrastination is: 1, disempowering emotions. There's emotions that we feel. What are the emotions that you feel that causes you to procrastinate? 2nd is depletion of energy source or the tanks. 3rd is our environment. Our environment is designed such a way to cause us to be. The environment is taking our energy just to resist it. If you are, it's during Ramadan time, I bet people who are fasting don't put themselves into temptations or environment of fasting. When they are fasting, they don't put food around them during the whole day, except for the 5-10 minutes before fasting. So they design their environment to avoid all of this. So the environment we need to create for ourselves. That's what I'm trying to imply over here. And then the unconscious association of pain and pleasure. So these are the 4 main reasons why, not just people, why we can fall into procrastination. So before we dive in a little bit deeper, we have another 20 minutes. I would like to know, what do you got out of this from this 30 minutes that we have covered? So is there any new understanding that you have understood about procrastination? Share with us. Yeah, you can type down or you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi Justin.
Yes, hi.
For me, the enlightened part was about the battery for the mental, spiritual, and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my case where every day afternoon or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the time where all my batteries are very high.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyhow the physical one will be the highest. So that will be the dominant, and that will be telling me to go to the gym. Okay, it's time to work out. I haven't go to the gym.
Yeah.
Even though I know I have my pending work to do and all that. So so my dominant will be going to the gym. Then it's about 1 hour to 2 hours at the gym. Then coming back, resting and getting tired.
Yeah.
And that delays the work.
Yeah.
Okay, there is something like good in a bad or bad in a good. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And is that now I just realized that is that part of procrastination as well? Because maybe I'm using gym as an escape way of the work.
Yeah.
And I do get tired and then I'm just slipping off. But then on that day I'm not doing that work.
Yeah. So I mean, I honor you for your truth and your honesty over here. It's very good that you are questioning your patterns, your behavior as well. So the truth I cannot say what's true, because you will know what is truth. You can feel the truth inside of you. But there's the question that you need to ask, or I encourage you to ask: are you using gym as a way to avoid to do the things that you want to do?
I wasn't sure about that, but this is how I compromise myself. I will be going for okay, no matter what, I'm just doing it for the sake of my health. What's wrong in that?
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking in that way all this while.
So that's the second part of this mental talk. If you notice,
Okay.
that's the mental talk that comes in to justify.
All right, okay. It's just compromising because when it's like, okay, when you're scrolling phone endlessly, there's no any advantage. So
Yeah.
there is nothing to debate about. Okay, it's definitely a pure procrastination. But
Yeah.
when you're doing something with our health and by escaping from the work to do, so I'm running out of the balance. I'm not sure where should I fall in. And then even the gym, as what you said, that you used to just exercise 10 to 15 minutes and then you'll be all right. For me, it is not like that. For me, even though I'm just half an hour, I will be like, okay, it is not enough. It is not enough. Then we still have to work out more and all that, ending up really drained.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm stuck in that part.
it's nothing to be unstuck. It's just about learning how we cope with it, how we
Okay,
our mechanism, how we actually go towards this. It's just that if we set a goal in at the beginning of our day of completing gym and the most important activities. Let's say the most important activity is completing this assignment. After completing these activities, I'm going to reward myself at the gym. And when we set those goals, how would you feel? How would you feel? How much energy would you feel to complete the activities just to experience the rush in the gym?
Oh, okay. That will be more excited then.
Yeah.
So I will rush to do the work first.
Yeah, we rush to do. This is how we unconsciously we play with ourselves of pain and pleasure. We give us a pleasure of going to the gym first, but then we avoid the pain of doing the activity.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's much more painful. Which is painful? Is it the gym or the activity?
It's definitely the activity, yeah.
Yeah. So we unconsciously associate pain to that. That's why we tend to avoid it. Our brain tends to avoid it.
Okay, I see that. All right.
Yeah. So learning how to use this pain and pleasure helps you to beat procrastination. That's the key here.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So today, I'm going to run through 4 strategies with you on how to beat procrastination using what I've shared with you. These four strategies. So I'm going to run through with you quite fast here. These 4 tanks right now. Okay, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. The first question is, don't think, just immediately touch your body where you feel this resonates. Okay, where do you think your mental tank is in your body? Touch the part of your body that you think there is the mental tank. Yeah. All right. For Cynthia, is over here. The mental tank is over here. All right. Now touch the part of the body where you feel the emotional tank. Most of my clients touch. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. The other side. This is determined where it doesn't matter. Everybody is different. Now touch the part of the body where you feel the physical tank. Where is the physical tank inside of you? All right. So Cynthia is over there. Thank you, Cynthia. It'd be good to have anybody else open so I can see. So the spiritual tank. Touch the part of your body where you feel that spiritual tank. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Go ahead. Do whatever works with you. So 5 minutes ago, when I asked you, if I didn't ask you this question, you do not know where are your tanks. Now, these are your tanks. First, realize whenever you feel down, go back to the tank, wherever you touch. Have a consciousness, okay, is this tank full or not? Ask yourself, wherever is your tank? Your tank might be here, your mental tank, emotional tank. I have my tanks. And they don't change, but they are there. And whenever you feel that this tank is empty, then you know what activity to do. So that's number 1, trick number 1. Identify your tank first. Trick number 1, where is the tank in your body? Number 2 is, when is the tank naturally full? For me, it's in the morning. All my tanks are full. For me, it's when after I go for the gym or go for a run, all my tanks are full. When is your tank full? Know when is your tank full. Identify when is in the part of the day. Everybody is different. When is the part of the day when your tank is full? I asked this to my client. He said, every time I have a cup of coffee, my tank is already full. That's all I need, a coffee first. So it works differently for different people. There's no right or wrong, but when is your tank is full? Because when your tank is full, nothing seems to be a problem for you. Am I right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Second is, how can I rejuvenate? Yes, Elisa, sorry.
No, I just agree with you. So yes.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
So, third question is, how can I rejuvenate the tank, or how can I fill in the tank? When you go throughout the day, it's a cyclic event. Sometimes we focus so much on our activity, our mental tanks get drained off. Sometimes there is somebody, I call them energy vampires. They can just suck the energy out of you, and your emotional tank is drained. Okay, your emotional tank can be drained because there are energy vampires around us sometimes, and I bet you know what I mean by this kind of people. That they can just be in your presence and you feel down after that. And some people in your light, and you can be in their presence and they just light you up. You feel so energetic, so pumped up to go and do the things that you want. So be careful with that. So how can you rejuvenate your tank when your tank is depleted? This is one of the most important activities that you can do. If there's one thing that you learn, if you just learn how to use this mental tank, you can beat procrastination already. This is strategy number 1. All right. Strategy number 2 is redesigning your environment. You know the questions that we ask? When do you procrastinate the most? Is procrastination a habit? I bet once you already know the patterns, you can already change your patterns. So design your environment. When would be the best time for you to do the most important activity? Design your environment in such a way that your environment is conducive for you. Don't use your mental, emotional, spiritual energy just to fight distraction in your environment for you to focus. Your energy is worth more than fighting distractions, avoiding conflicts. Design your environment. Remove all distractions. What distraction I should remove from my environment? Share with me right now. What distraction can I remove from my environment to help me perform at my best? There was one client that told me that the best thing that I can do to avoid distraction is just to stop all subscription on my TV. And yeah, fortunately she did that also. But what distraction that you should remove from your environment?
I think nowadays the main distractions are the social media themselves.
Yeah, we'll come to it on how to remove that. I got some strategies on how to help you share with them.
Fortunately, I just reboot my phone, but I didn't install back the Facebook and Instagram yet.
Yeah. So that's one way. Yeah, that's one way as well. It is so addictive. It is very addictive. Yeah. Sorry, Liz.
It's quite hard for me because my phone has like the productivity apps, like my social media has like all the sometimes have like the like the tips, the what you call all the motivation and the quotes that I need. But at the first at first I need it, but then after a while, and then I distract at another thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really hard because sometimes, you know, the I need the phone, but the phone distracts me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. But all right, never mind. This when I say, the question was easy. What distraction should I remove from my environment? And social media just came up for both of y'all over here. And it's true that the social media is our main distraction and is our main entertainment as well. Sometimes, and the main source of news. Sometimes we use it as our source of news as well. So the truth is, are we in control, or the social media is control of us? And this is where we need to draw the line. I'll share with you on how to do that. But this is how we design our environment first. How we design our environment, not just our phone. The environment is in our phone, but the environment in our surrounding as well. Okay. Here is a strategy I call the PCF strategy. It stands for purpose, clarity, and focus. Whenever, before starting your day, or even before starting an activity, or whenever you sit down on your desk to do anything, write down first. Of, like, for example, you want to write down a report or an email to someone, or even starting on any activities or reading a journal. Ask yourself first, why? Why is this important to me? Who needs me to perform? Who needs me to perform this activity? And who is relying on me to get this up? When you're clear with the purpose, then you have a sense of not just urgency, you'll have the spiritual energy inside of you. Your spiritual tank becomes full because you are driven by purpose and mission. Second part is clarity. Be clear on the next baby steps. I call it small, simple steps. Small, simple steps that you're going to take. Maybe it's about just taking about 5 to 10 steps. I mean, not 5 to 10 steps, 5 to 10 minutes on just reading. If you pick up a book, you write down, why is it important for me to read this book? And then you go on, okay, I'm going to read only 10 pages, or I'm only going to read for 10 minutes. That's all. So you have a clarity of mind. Whenever you have clarity, it's easy to execute. Sometimes we get into things, some activities, and we do not have clarity. It's hard to execute. When our brain feels that it's hard to execute, we avoid it. We tend to go towards what's pleasure, short-term pleasure. So we get the clarity by defining the steps for yourself. Third is block time. Now, our smartphone right now, every smartphone, there is something called as a focus time. If you go to your app, any smartphone, there's something called as focus mode. I do not know whether you can see it. There's something called as focus mode. And if you click that focus mode, you can define how long you're going to do, your phone is going to be in that focus mode. That means it won't distract you. Whenever I have some important activities that I want to write, I will put that as focus mode 45 minutes. That's my block time. I tell my family members, don't disturb me for 45 minutes. I'm going to do something important. I'll tell everybody, 45 minutes is all I need. 45 minutes, after 45 minutes, you can break in the door. I mean, don't break in the door, you can march in, you can come in the door and you can disturb me. But for 45 minutes, that's all I need. And that gives me full focus, full purpose, full clarity on what I'm going to do. Any activities. Whenever I go to the gym, also 45 minutes maximum. That's my block time, because anything above 45 minutes, sometimes for me, it's hard to really focus, 100% focus. But you can start with 30 minutes first. So this is the most simplest strategy on not just boosting all the 4 tanks that we have, but to get ourselves to use pain and pleasure for us in doing this activity. That's strategy number 3. I hope this helps. I really hope this helps, because this is one of the basic strategies on how to be a high performer. High performers always do one thing at a time rather than multitasking. They don't multitask. They focus on one thing and they be the master at it. And that's why they can perform at the best. And that's why athletes, when they train, they only focus on one muscle at a time, one activity at a time, one thing at a time. They train their brain to just focus at one thing at a time. Okay. Next thing is about programming yourself on pain and pleasure. So this is where it might get a little bit intense right now. I've never tried this before, and I would like to try it with, I never tried it in a group before. I tried it individually, so this is where we're going to test it out in a group, and I'm quite excited to do this. But before we do this, I would like you to share with me what is the emotion that you indulge in that cause you to procrastinate or causing you to suffer. What is that one emotion that you indulge in? Share with us. What is that one emotion?
One or many?
Okay. Okay. You have quite a lot, I believe, because you said one or many. So correct me if I'm wrong. Or what are the emotions that you indulge in?
Okay. First of all, fear. When I want to avoid something, anxious, anxiety. Boredom, like you say, boredom and sadness. When I feel sad and then I want to distract from everything. So sadness, fear, and when I bored. Yeah.
So boredom, sadness, and fear. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So after you feel this boredom, sadness, and fear, what do you do, or what happens after that?
Usually after that I distract myself from the emotion. I didn't confront the emotion.
Okay. How do you distract?
Phone. Usually playing phone. Like because I tend to like imagine a lot, so I did face the reality. So I just go like I distract with all those imaginary world. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So boredom, sadness, fear, and
Yes.
and this emotion that you indulge it, that is causing you to procrastinate and also causing you to suffer as well.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So and you basically avoid it by going to the phone because it's help you to come out from it. What does the phone give you?
It distracts me from the emotion.
It distracts you. So
Yes.
what emotion does it distract you with?
What emotion that distract?
It distract you. It has to distract you with something.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe happiness. I think kind of like you when you laugh at something. Laugh at jokes. I don't know, anything to distract. Anything like just like anything to empty my mind or my emotion from the reality.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is like a never-ending loop. You feel boredom, sadness, and fear,
Yeah.
and you go to happiness by using phone. You go to I won't call it happiness, but the short-term happiness.
Yeah.
You get it in the phone. All right.
Sometimes it's not pleasurable. It's more like you just wanna neglect the overwhelming emotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just want to escape. Just want to time out. In other words, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and right now, if are you okay to do this exercise with me? I will stop recording, and maybe you can on this. We will do this exercise together. Where, all right. So, okay, we will do this exercise together where we're going to tell this. We're going to say that I say your name, hear and feel, and know that I will never indulge in this destructive emotion of fear, boredom, sadness, fear again. All right? You're going to say it, and you're going to say it with intense emotions. You're going to say it with meaning on why you do it. Then when you are in that state, I'm going to ask you why is it costing you, and you're just going to let it out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be, do you understand it?
Why is it costing you in terms of what? Okay, may I be sure?
I'll ask you why. Okay, what? Let's try it out right now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what is the emotion of boredom, sadness, fear costing you right now? What is it?
Yeah, it
What
stressed me out.
stress you out? So how is it? What's the consequences in your life because all of these emotions that you entertain?
Kind of like miserable, like feel in the loop of self, kind of like self sabotage. I think.
Self sabotage. All right.
Mm.
Who do you love the most, Liz?
Who do I love the most? My family.
Your family. Okay. Now, right now, just imagine that there's some robber or burglar comes into your house and put the gun in your family members. How would you feel?
Mm. Oh, yeah, I don't like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
feel
what would you
terrified.
do? Yeah, you feel
I,
terrified. What
I
would
got,
you do?
I gonna save my family
Yeah, you're going to
from
save
the
your
robber.
family.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is how this destructive emotion is. They are
Mm-hmm.
hurting your family.
Mm-hmm.
They are the burglars. They are robbing you from your family. They are robbing you from your happiness from your family. They are
Mm-hmm.
robbing you from the time that you spend with your family.
Mm-hmm.
This is what this destructive emotion has been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how is it destroying you? Because this fear, boredom, sadness is, it's like uh, we are bringing it into our home,
Mm-hmm.
and we choose to keep it there when we can just
Uh-huh.
kick them out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have the
All
power to
right.
kick them out, but we choose
Okay.
to keep them there. So we
Okay.
indulge in them.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So, all right. So think about that. They are costing you your family right now. So I want you to
Mm-hmm.
repeat this. I,
Mm-hmm.
your name, see,
Mm-hmm.
hear, and feel, and know that I will never indulge in this destructive emotion of sadness, boredom, fear, uh, ever again. I will never do it
Mm-hmm.
ever again. And you
Mm-hmm.
keep saying it, and I'll ask you why. Why? And you're just going to let it all out. Just
Mm-hmm.
let it. Whatever comes out, the answer that you come out, you just let it out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I
I
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I, Lisa, see, hear, feel, and know that I will never indulge in the destructive emotion of boredom, sadness, and fear ever again.
Why? Come on, say it
What?
again. Say it again. Say it
Why is
again.
it
I.
causing me? It stressed me out. It put
So
me in pain. It doesn't help me at all.
yeah. Say it
So
again. I, Lisa.
I, Lisa, see, hear, feel, and know that I will never indulge in the destructive emotion of boredom, sadness, and fear ever again. It
Say
put
it again.
me in pain. They put
Yeah.
me in pain. Yeah.
What is it destroying? Who is it destroying? This emotion. Who is it
It is
destroying?
destroying. It's destroying myself. I keep on sabotaging myself. Yeah.
And how is it destroying your family because of all of this?
Uh, uh, I don't know.
Just let it
I
out.
neglect. I neglect my priorities. I neglect
Yeah.
everything. I neglect my responsibilities and everything. Yeah.
So what's the consequences? Say it again. I, Lisa.
I, Lisa, see, hear, feel, and know that I will never indulge in the destructive emotion of sadness, boredom, and fear ever again. It
Say it
destroying
again.
me.
You say it
I,
again.
Lisa, see, hear, feel, and know that I will never indulge in the destructive emotion of boredom, sadness, and fear ever again.
Yes. Come on. Again. Come on.
Oh my god. I, Lisa, see, hear, feel, and know that I will never indulge in the destructive emotions of boredom, fear, and sadness ever again.
Why is this emotion destroying you? Why is it destroying you?
It's killing me.
What is it
They
destroying?
put me in pain. They put me in pain.
And what is it
Yes.
costing you? What's the consequences of this?
I neglect everything. I neglect my life. I neglect my priorities. I neglect my responsibility. I just neglect myself.
So what are you going to do after this?
Maybe more aware what I feel.
And never
Yeah.
again bring them in.
Yes, more aware, and then if I feel like I want to procrastinate, and then I will try to detect which emotion are triggering me.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Thank you, Lisa, for being so cooperative, and thank you. So
Yeah.
what we just done is we actually feel this intense emotion of not entertaining this anymore. Not entertaining this emotion of fear, anger, sadness, and boredom anymore. What I've tried, what I've did with you is to make you feel so much intense that your nervous system will remember this. And whenever you're going to feel this, you're going to stop yourself because you have already said, and you said in front of all of us as well, that you are not going to do destructive emotion again because it's costing your family, it's costing you so much. So this is how we program our pain and pleasure. For Sairam, I encourage you to do it when you're alone or when you're in your car alone, just scream it out loud, which emotions that you don't want to do it, or you can always contact me. We can do it together. Lisa was very cooperative here, and thank you, Lisa, for doing this with us, this small exercise. I hope I believe there will be a breakthrough for you because you have fully participated and you feel these emotions and you know when these emotions are coming in, knocking at your door, you know how to say to them, no, get out, not anymore.
I want to ask one question because I think because I'm quite aware of sometimes I need to reprogram myself and this is quite helpful because a human tend to forget what they learn. Is it helpful for me like to keep like repeating this daily, like a mantra, read like daily?
Let me share with you a story. Whenever we feel intense emotions, very intense emotion, if we allow ourselves to feel intense emotion, and whenever there's another information towards it, it becomes a long-term memory. Think about whenever you had intense emotion of breakup. When you have a breakup with someone or you won a medal, you actually remember everything in detail. You know, when I had a breakup last time, I remember all the shirt, the color, the environment, the song that is going on in the background. I remember everything. It was so intense that I can remember everything. And here's long-term memory, you need emotion and information. If you want to reprogram yourself, allow yourselves to have this intense emotion, and then it will stick into your nervous system. You will never forget it. So that's why trauma happens. You got so traumatic and they remember it and you change their life. So to reprogram yourself, allow yourself to feel this intense emotion. If you do it one-to-one, I would really push you a little bit more to go higher in intense. But for this session, we just slow the volume down a bit. But this intense emotion can break that pattern.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So, allow yourself to have this intense emotion. You can repeat it every day, but you don't feel it in your body. It's not going to work. That's why affirmations don't work, because you don't feel it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I hope you all had some breakthrough in this session. Sairam, if you have any question, please go ahead, ask us. And
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
As for the phrase, So when the final answer that ends with the destructive emotion of, to be honest, I always the most of the time what I feel is just numbness. I just
Yeah.
feel numb. But
Yeah.
for the second question, all I know is one thing: the
Yeah.
time is ticking.
Yes.
The time is ticking. I know that I'm being not being unproductive, but even that is still not affecting me.
Yeah.
As what are the as Ms. Lisa, she listed out all the emotions, right? But I don't feel so. I just feeling numb.
Yeah.
So what should I do about it?
Yeah.
Should I actually have to break through the numbness and find out the emotions in detail?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
When you say you feeling numb, what does it mean to you?
it means even though, okay, if let's say I'm not finishing off an assignment or something,
Mhm.
I clearly I know what are the consequences that are going to come after, but I'm not reacting to it. I don't
Mhm.
have that fear.
Yeah.
It's, to be honest, it's like an Indian movie. Like, okay, this is not going to kill me, so what?
Mhm. I
I do
guess.
have that numbness feeling most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't feel the emotions.
Maybe it's not about it's not exactly numbness. Is
Okay,
it's just that it's not painful enough.
I see.
Have
Okay,
you heard about the story of a dog that is sitting on a this story was told by an old man to an old man that is trying to share me something. He told that when he went to a house, there was a dog sitting on a nail, and the dog
right.
keeps after 5-10 minutes will howl. Then this guy, the guest, asked this old man in the house, he said, why your dog is after 5-10 minutes is howling?
Okay,
He said to the dog, he said to the man, oh, my dog is he's a little bit lazy. He's sitting on a nail, and
okay.
it's painful, but it's not painful enough for him to move.
Oh, okay. I get it.
We sometimes we have this pain of not being productive, or pain of being in a relationship that is not being useful towards us. It's poking us, but we don't feel. We try to avoid it to change, because we know if we change, it's more painful. So the biggest question is, what do you fear the most?
So I have to dig it in and find out.
Yeah. What do
Okay,
you fear the
thank you.
most?
I don't know. I have no answer for that now.
It's okay. You don't have to have the answer. I mean, you can think about it. What do you fear the most? And the more truthful that you become towards that fear, the more you will be able to let go of the numbness and become true towards it. Because the more we are closer to our fear, the more we understand our deepest desire, our deepest longing, our deepest value, our deepest desire to be what we want to be.
I see. Okay, thank you, Justin.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. I hope this helped you. And let me know what you think about this session as well. Send us an email, or even write down here what did you got out of this session, and what are you going to implement? Because I believe if information leads to knowledge, you become a fool. But if information leads to action, you become wealthy. So what actions are you going to take? I'm excited to know. Okay, we are a little bit over time, but just share what we need. Yep. Okay, all right, awesome. Yeah. So did you all got a ton of benefit from this session?
Oh, obviously, very helpful. Yeah.
Very helpful. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So
Thank
please
you.
share with your friends and family. Did you think what you have learned will benefit them? Because everybody is waiting for that breakthrough, but it's just they need the right people to help out. So be that person for them to help them out to have their own breakthroughs. And of course, if you can always invite them to join us, we have another session tomorrow on how to overcome fear of failure and be extraordinary. And the third session on how to unlock the unlimited power of our self-confidence. So both this session will be carried out by me and Cynthia, and we are looking forward for you to join tomorrow as well. So thank you very much and enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
All
Justin.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.